What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crown Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we are breaking down,
And we literally just watched
The Godfather Part II. A lot of movie.
A lot of killing.
This is the movie they say is the greatest sequel of all time.
Yeah. Yep. I could see why. What does the United States do with movies like this? They put it in some type of archive.
Yeah. What is that called?
The National, I don't know.
Yeah, I think National Film Archive.
Well, they put this one in there and I get it.
Yep. Library of Congress gets they have the complete National Film Registry.
Kind of creepy that they do that, considering this movie is showing, I think, almost a facade of what the American dream really is.
Yeah.
Of like when you maintain or when you gain that much power and maintain it for that long, you probably did some messed up stuff along the way to maintain that power.
Yeah, so this says the National Film Registry is a list of films the United States National Film Preservation Board recommends for preservation. So I guess the purpose is to ensure the survival to ensure the survival and conservation of American film heritage, to increase public access to American film heritage, and to preserve film that are culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. The Godfather is all three of those.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow, what a movie. Not even the Don could have seen this coming.
We should settle this debate, which people say the second one's better. What do you think? You like the first one better or the second one better?
The second one.
I like the first one better. I just like seeing Michael's character arc a little bit more. You definitely see his character arc change. In this one, he goes deeper into just soullessness. Literally, you just see in his eyes the life leaving his body.
It's a tragedy.
But yeah, I like the first one better. I think because this one's, maybe as you watch it more, it'll get better, because like, we were talking about this right before we started recording. There's so many more intricacies of how the story unfolds and these connections and ties.
Yes.
How things relate back. They call back to whenever Vito was young, getting right and getting his, mafia built and all that kind of stuff. So there's some ties there. So it's kind of a little confusing to remember and really connect all the dots if you've only seen it a few times like I have. Like I feel like you got to be watching this like 4 or 5 times to truly understand what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. With the first one, I felt like I was following everything. I really didn't have that many issues. I guess we might have had to pause it a couple times just to make sure I was good. On this one, granted, there's 2 parallel stories going on, but not even that. Vito's story is pretty easy to follow.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously like, I love the idea that they went that route, but Michael's story, and I guess I should also reiterate again, this is my first time watching The Godfather 2. I don't know what it was. Like, for a while there, I was just really lost. But I will say, when everything connected, it connected.
Yeah.
And, once I started realizing what was actually going on, it made a lot of the earlier scenes make so much more sense.
Yeah, because you get to watch Vito gain everything for his family, and then you get to watch Michael lose everything with his family.
That's what I meant. Not even the Don could see this coming. It's just, fuck, I'm sad. Vito, I'm just thinking of, Godfather 1, Vito.
Yep.
The Godfather, this is literally his worst nightmare. Michael did not live up to expectation.
Nope.
That sucks.
He's trying to be strong, but was too strong.
Maybe it should have been Fredo.
Although there is an argument to be made that his whole situation was way tougher than Vito's was. Because think about there's some comparisons that we'll bring up here in a second about the parallels from the first to the second one. Like there's a lot that they do very similarly to kind of contrast the two stories. But a big one is that whenever Vito kills the Don of that town, it's whatever his name was. You remember?
I don't remember.
But you're always good at remembering the names.
Yeah, I'm usually so good at that. That's what people know me for on this podcast.
Fanucci. Yes. So whenever he goes and kills Don Fanucci, he gets to just walk on the street back home to his wife and kids and be free. As opposed to when Michael has to kill somebody, he has to flee the fucking country for years.
Yeah.
A year, and then, come back later.
Well, I think there's something to be said for Vito. It was more, his story was so like black and white, it seemed to me. in this town that's clearly just a lot of Italian immigrants that are just being mistreated because this guy that somehow got to power is abusing the fact that they have nowhere to go. They don't have a police to turn to. They have nothing. So you can just abuse the shit out of them all you want. So to Vito, he's just like, oh, bad guy. Okay, I kill. So he's pretty much like saving the town.
And think about Vito has really strong feelings against what this guy's doing because his father got killed by a man just like this guy. So it's like, fuck him.
Yeah, he's just looking at him as practice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm just getting warmed up with this guy.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's seriously, it's just so easy to see, as soon as he kills that guy, Vito's rise to power is through favors. He's taking care of people. And so it's so much easier when he's like, hey, like, he's doing business deals to make sure that old ladies get to stay at their apartment with a dog.
It's all about favors, seeing how he can leverage his power and what he has to help people when they need to.
Yeah.
He's really not violent. He's only violent to one guy.
Yeah.
Even to the guy that he, I guess with his whole persona of him being like the guy that killed Fanucci, the big bad guy in the town. When he goes and talks to the landlord about the lady who got evicted and he goes to help her out, Vito does. He kills that guy, but he's not really violent with the landlord. He kills Fanucci, but he's not violent with the landlord. He doesn't really even threaten him even.
No.
But once that guy realizes that this is who it is, he thinks the guy that killed Fanucci's way worse.
Yeah.
Even though he's not. But like he immediately comes back after that. He's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know who you were. I'm so sorry. Of course I'll do this. And he's like, just with Vito just looking at him, not even answering him, he like lowers the price down twice.
Yeah. I love how there was this kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I guess I'd say like a cartoonish nostalgia in Vito's timeline because even the villain, Fanucci, he's just like the typical Italian, like, the way he's parading down the street, he's laughing, he's like, oh, too violent for me, all this kind of stuff.
His stupid jacket across his shoulders, not putting his sleeves on.
Yeah, just his whole demeanor is that way. And then with the landlord, like him trying to get out of the office to go to Freedom, it's like he like can't figure out how to open a door. It's just kind of, it's almost silly. It's not, but it's definitely not as serious as Michael's. Like you don't see anything like that with Michael's.
There's a real contrast between those two stories.
Yeah. And that's just, that's clearly the message they're going for is, I guess you don't want to become too powerful. With Vito, he was a neighborhood hero and then he took care of his people in the city. And then with Michael, they've moved to Vegas. Now they're getting involved with shady people that they don't know.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're dealing with like heavy politicians.
Yeah, now they're really getting into like true power in the country. Like sure, you can have crime power, but now they're in political power. Or at least trying to leverage that.
Yeah, and that's just always going to get bad.
Yeah.
That's just always going to get messy. And so you're right. I mean, Vito and Michael they are dealing with two totally different types of power, but it still makes you think, what would Vito have done if he was in Michael's position?
Right. That's like the question because you're not sure if Vito would have done the same things under the same circumstances because there's so much more weight to Michael's decisions and there's so much more at play.
Yeah.
Whenever Vito takes power back in the day, he's just fighting one guy, Fanucci, knocks him out. Now he's the Don. He's now the king of the neighborhood. As opposed to at the end of The Godfather and in this movie, there's so many heads of the families, there's other politicians, a bunch of people playing at power. So Michael now has to work with like many people. Yeah. He's fighting against many people who are all plotting to get more power. So it's just way more complex for Michael.
Yeah. Which it just sucks because I feel like when Vito was in power at that time, his whole idea, and I will stand by this, I said it in the first podcast when we did The Godfather, is Vito just wants everybody to be good.
Yeah.
There's just kind of that level of camaraderie of like, yes, I'm the head of the family, but I want to make sure everybody's just fine. No wars, like whatever problems we have, like we can talk about it at a table.
Yeah.
There ain't no table for Michael. Everybody's just sending bullets through his bedroom window.
And when there is a table, they're all conspiring against him.
Yeah. And so it is just, like I said, it took a little bit for me to figure out what the hell was going on with Michael, but when it connected, just the story of it is brilliant. Like the way that Michael does play things, it sucks that he gets the ending that he gets.
Yeah.
Because you think he's doing it. You think I think he is making all the right moves until the very end.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just let that old man die.
He has to. He hates his enemies.
I know, but it's like, dude, come on. Like, but even he says, you know, because
Tom Hagen.
Tom says he's got 6 months. He's like he's been surviving that same heart attack for 20 years.
Yeah.
His medical condition is reported as terminal. He's only going to live another 6 months anyway.
He's been dying of the same heart attack for 20 years.
And he's like, I've had it with this old man. He's got to go. And so there's that. And then his brother, like, just cannot forgive him.
He can't.
I don't know. I think Vito would have forgiven him.
Fredo did.
I don't think he would have killed him.
Yeah, probably not killed him. I don't know. That's the thing. You just don't know because you didn't get to see Vito in these situations. Like, that's what's so tough is you have to watch Michael go through it and you see how all the things that happen to him because of what happens. So
we just sound like people talking about like, well, back in my day, this never would have happened.
yeah.
You know, Vito would have never let this happen. Well,
that's kind of that's also kind of one of Michael's problems is that a lot of the old timers that used to work with Vito, they don't like how Michael's running things.
Yeah.
Michael's not showing them the respect they believe they deserve.
Yeah.
So that kind of has another play.
It's not as simple. They, when they got into this whole game, they didn't think it would be harder by the time they were 80.
Yeah.
They were like, wait, what do you mean I got to go talk to the senators
Little do they know.
of Nevada?
Little do they know the law gets stronger over time.
Yeah. So they're just pissed. They're like, what? We thought we were just going to be kicking it at this point. Y'all were going to be doing all the bad stuff. Like, why am I still having to order hits?
Yeah.
Why am I still dodging bullets? But yeah.
It's a life he chose. Like that's what the Jewish guy, what was his name?
Roth?
Yes. Hyman Roth. Yeah. Hyman Roth.
Yeah.
He was like, this is the life we deserved. Whenever he basically telling Michael he knows he put the hit out on all the people.
Right.
But he's like, I never asked who it was because this is the life we all signed up for.
And I said to myself, this is the business we've chosen.
Yeah, because they all, they accept it. That's the kind of like going to The Sopranos. Like they all talk about either going to die
in a jail cell,
or you're going to just cut to black.
Yeah.
Which, spoiler alert.
Damn. Oh my God.
You don't know what I mean by that? I didn't give any context.
Major spoiler
I didn't
alert.
give any context. You have no idea what that means.
If you're just first off, if you're watching the Godfather movies and you haven't seen The Sopranos, you're doing yourself a huge disservice.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I say that. I've seen The Sopranos 3 times and now I'm just now watching The Godfather. So all these references that they're making in The Sopranos, I was like, God, that sounds so sick.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch that movie one day. It took me like fucking 5 years.
Hey, but now you're here, baby. Live on the podcast.
Yeah. But man, okay, so we gotta start from the beginning. Okay, Michael is just clearly not the same.
Nope.
Like he's just okay, so we're 7 years into the future since he's committed the murders.
Yep.
Of the 5 families, and he's taken full control. And yeah, like I said, he is just whatever jokes he might have buried deep in his soul, nobody's getting them.
No.
I mean, he is all business all the time. There's there's not even lovey-dovey with his wife. Actually, a little bit. And then,
but it's really not there. It's pretty cold. It's like bare minimum. Just
well, okay, think about it. The lovey-dovey that I'm talking about is at the very beginning, and all he's doing is asking about how his son is.
Right.
His heir.
Yeah. What he cares about, really.
Yeah, so he doesn't, So again, no Mr. Nice Guy.
That's what's really cool about the beginning is the contrast from the first movie to the second movie.
Yeah.
Because they both start and open before the prologue, the party. Mm-hmm. Right. You get the prologue with Vito. But we were talking about at the very end of the Godfather episode last time is that the wedding outside is super bright and then it's super dark inside of the corner of Don Corleone's office because they're doing the shady business, right? But in this movie, it's not as bright. There's a lot of darkness, and then when you go to Michael's office, there's a lot of sunlight coming in. It's not as dark. It's not as shady. The one time it cuts the darkness is whenever he's talking to his sister. When he talks to Connie, that's whenever it's pure darkness, like reflecting back to the first movie, because that's suggesting that there's darkness inside the family. It's the darkness and all like the dangers are no longer just outside of the family. The family used to be just happy. It's all good. We're all connected, loyalty. We love each other. We do all the dark stuff behind closed doors and we don't let that tamper with the family. Mm-hmm. But now Michael's in control. the darkness is starting to creep in within. The family is starting to separate. That's most of his problems are inside of the family.
Yeah.
So that's a cool symbolism there, just like waiting the darkness until you see Connie to then kind of let you know that the darkness is inside the family now. It's way worse than it used to be.
Yeah. No kidding about that.
Plus with Kate at the wedding, the opening of the first movie, Kate's welcomed in. He's parading her around. He brings her into the family picture. She's the forefront of Michael's focus, taking care of her, sitting with her the whole time. She's pretty happy. It's great. In this movie, Kate's just in the background most of the time. Now she's just be your role, be a wife and a mom, and just sit there, pose for the pictures we need you to take, but just stand back. She's so much on the outside now. She used to be with Michael in the very beginning, all happy, but now she's not. There's that contrast with Kate. What's also funny about the wedding is that the first wedding in the first movie is with a bunch of Italians singing Italian music. It's very much traditional wedding. In this movie, it's a bunch of white boys singing in a choir. Yeah. And then the old Italian guy that's kind of getting mad at Michael for the disrespect. He's kind of laying on him. Frank, I think his name is Frankie.
Frankie, yeah.
He comes in and is trying to get the band to start playing Italian music. And then that's when the whole crowd goes crazy.
Yeah. So and they have a senator from Nevada giving speeches.
Yeah.
And it's wait, what's going on?
Yeah, they're away from their hometown. They're doing a wedding in Nevada now. There's non-Italians running the whole wedding. So it's just that contrast.
That's the telltale right there. It's just okay, things are wrong.
Things are way different than they used to be.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be this way. Vegas, baby. You need to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I do. Obviously, it shows you immediately what dealing with politicians is going to get you, and you're just dealing with slimy rats. And so
murderers. Yeah, murderers. Senator killing a prostitute.
I thought they just staged that. Anyways,
I don't know.
I'll give that theory, but so they have the senator of Nevada give some great speech. He thanks Michael in front of the whole party, whatever. Then they go to the office to have the real meeting to let him know how he really feels. And he just straight up says, I hate Italian Americans. I think y'all are filthy people. What y'all do is wrong, yada, yada. And he just says, to be frank, if you make this specific move on this hotel in Vegas, I'm going to squeeze you.
Yep.
And I'm going to make your life hell. And I'm just telling you, don't do it. And there's just the little symbolism of, he points, there's a little cannon on Michael's desk, and he kind of points it at him.
Yeah.
Just to show
little threat move.
You're dealing with American political power now.
Yeah. The law.
When I tell you I'm going to step on your neck, I mean it.
Yeah. Let's pull it up. That's a cool scene.
Yeah.
Now the price for the license is less than $20,000. Am I right?
That's right.
As they're talking, Michael's always been shot in this shot, kind of the medium shot, not tight on him.
Now, why would I ever consider paying more than that?
Because I intend to squeeze you. I don't like your kind of people. I don't like to see you come out to this clean country in your oily hair.
And then it cuts to Tom, because now he's threatening Michael. And we know who Michael is now. You're you know who you're talking to? Yeah. This is Michael Corleone, bro. And so it cuts to Tom, who's reacting to this wise words this guy's telling him. Looks to Michael, and now Michael's the first time's in a close-up. And these eyes, bro, studying him, staring him down.
I despise your masquerade.
Yeah, because he's learning, this is...
yourself,
I'm in a new world
and your whole fucking family.
Essentially, I'm not used to people just coming in here and talking to me like this.
Yeah, and he hates it. Look at him. Look at those eyes. He's I can't believe you're saying this to me.
Yeah.
And that's a huge moment, or a huge part of Pacino's amazing performance in this movie is just the eyes. We talked about the eyes, the first one, the stare. This stare is
next level.
Next level. Seriously. Yeah. This just studying him, just are you really doing that? Just that's his intimidation factor, just with the look.
So let's just say that you'll pay me because it's in your interest to pay me. From now on, you deal with Turnbull. Open the door.
Yeah, maybe they did plant that murder with him. Although what makes me think that he actually did kill the girl, I hope we're not just completely missing this, but he said, I didn't remember she was laughing, and we did it before. I didn't think I would hurt her ever. He's doing something with her that was semi-dangerous. I would assume.
I took it as somebody in there roofied him, killed the girl, and then blamed it on him. So now he has to go to them for help. So now he's just in their debt. And that's what you get for threatening the Godfather.
That's the kind of shit they would pull.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because Tom, he's like, oh, you're so lucky that you just happen to be at our spot. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get to you. So it worked out too well.
Yeah, so the senator is innocent and has been framed. The basic idea is that he was drugged, and then at Corleone's direction, this innocent hooker was bludgeoned to death so that the senator would think he had killed her, and Tom Hagen could save his ass.
Thank you, Google. Okay,
this is also this is what somebody's theorizing, but that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little too coincidental, especially when the senator gives the big speech at the hearing, saying like I back Italian Americans. It's kind of making fun of politicians in that sense, showing that he was a huge dick to him at the very beginning, and then he completely has his back at that hearing.
Yeah.
Even though he's also leaving.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go ahead and step out of here. But I just want to say the Corleone family is an amazing family.
Yeah. I want to say that guy's a great guy.
Yeah. My best friends, actually.
Yeah.
So this says, it's strongly implied that Neri, the little hitman for Michael, is responsible for killing the prostitute whose murder is used to frame Senator Pat Geary.
Yeah.
And it says, Neri is seen washing his hands next to the bloody corpse of the recently slain prostitute. So there we go.
I think they did it.
Yeah, for sure they did.
I don't think the senator had it in him.
No, because you couldn't remember.
Yeah, these politicians, they don't actually commit murder with their bare hands most of the time.
Hopefully.
Well, what do we really know?
Yeah, there's some darkness in that world for sure.
Yeah.
You're talking about something. I got you off track with this.
No, not really. That was pretty much where I was going with it. It was just like kind of the political power, what they're dealing with. Just, it's not, because yes, like a lot of these people that are mobsters in the mafia, they're two-faced, but they're not this two-faced.
Sure.
For the most part,
Yeah.
There's still some type of loyalty. He's just in it to save his ass.
Yeah.
He doesn't have loyalty to anybody.
Yeah.
So that's why he has no fear of oh yeah, I love Italian Americans. Say what? He's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get that mad at him. He's not going to have I guess in this sense, I guess the Jews are the enemies of the Italians in this movie.
Yeah.
And so, but he doesn't actually have to worry about Jews coming and killing him for showing support.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's so easy for them to backtrack. And Michael knows that. He's like, you think you're so powerful, but all I got to do is plant a dead hooker on you in your mind.
With what we just heard too, because
that's no problem for me to do, by the way.
Yeah, because what we just heard with Michael, he said, we're part of the same hypocrisy. Don't act like we're different.
Senator, we're both part of the same hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Like you pretend like you're a good guy, but we know what you're doing behind closed doors. Same with me.
Yeah, because again, this movie is showing anybody that's in power at this point probably got there doing some shady shit, which is still true today.
Yep.
So, I mean, and that's just how it's always been. But, yeah, so it's just, kind of this movie's take on politics, political power.
The mafia.
Yeah.
What's cool about the kind of more lighting symbolism with the family is that every time you see the family in the first movie, they're, out in the sun, bright lit, it's fun. But in this movie, the only time the family's all together, air quotes, celebrating, having a good time. Michael's not happy, obviously, but they're all lit artificially by top lights and they're all outside and it's fake light.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's again showing that they're not really, the family's falling apart here. They can't even hang out in well lit places. They're kind of struggling a bit.
I know I felt so bad for the godmother. What's her actual name? Mama. Yeah.
I think they only call her Mama Corleone.
She's just
Carmela.
Yeah, she's just so sad from the beginning. I mean, she sees her daughter come into this party, clearly drugged up, bringing some random guy that's giving her a big fat kiss on the cheek. She doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah.
So it's just showing if she's unhappy, then we are in big trouble because something. Yeah, it's all wrong.
Yeah, Connie's been acting a fool.
Yeah,
I love in that scene whenever Connie comes to Michael because she needs money. Yeah. And Michael won't even look at the dude.
Yeah.
The whole scene is just staring at Connie. Won't even respond to what the guy's saying. He just doesn't approve at all.
I feel bad, kind of, for like the guys that her history with men through these movies. Because, well, I guess the first guy was introduced to her by
Sonny.
by Sonny. But okay, then that guy's just a dumbass. Because why are you striking the Don's daughter?
That
But then
guy's,
this- Yeah, but then this second guy, I don't think he has a clue of.
I don't think he does either.
I don't think he understands like just he just doesn't understand where he is.
Yeah, if you're in that
He does
seat and
not-
Michael's saying, don't marry this man,
Why don't you tell him marriage is out of the question and you don't want to see him anymore? He'll understand, believe me.
you're going to say, thank you guys. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to go ahead and get back to my
but,
crib.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of shows that he's like, yo, could I get a drink in here?
Could I have a drink or something?
It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, I just feel bad for her boyfriends. Well, I feel bad for this boyfriend. I do not feel bad for the last husband. But this guy, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. She made it seem like you were going to give us some money and we were going to go wherever we wanted. She
Yeah.
made it seem like it was going to be pretty easy. I don't know why you're putting up a fight.
And you can even see in Michael's face when she says she needs money. That's when Michael finally does look at the man and he's like, oh, seriously? You can't take care of her?
Yeah.
You need to come to me?
Yeah.
She needs money from me? Yes. It's like, bro.
You didn't even ask for my blessing to marry her, but you're asking for
Oh,
money.
Even that too, yeah.
Like, well, you know that, I mean, the Don's dead. That doesn't mean you just don't get a blessing from the family.
Yeah,
Like
Michael's
you-
the godfather of her son.
Even if he doesn't know that, I just feel like that would be proper etiquette. Like, if you're marrying a woman and her dad is dead, but she has brothers, I think you go to the brothers for the blessing. Like, I think
1000%.
that's the next step. And so the fact that Michael doesn't even know who this guy is, and he's talking about marrying his sister, he was like, whoa, like, I'm about to kill you
Yeah.
because that's what I usually do, you know? So
What happened to these family values, man?
we used to be a country. No, I mean,
That's kind of all throughout the movie. Just family values just trickle down because a big betrayal is whenever Kay tells him that she aborted his baby.
Dude,
it wasn't a miscarriage.
I kind of want to, I'm not even ready to talk about that yet. I want to stay on, like, Michael didn't even kill that poor guy, Connie's boyfriend.
yeah.
Because he was like, oh my God, like, this guy clearly doesn't know. Otherwise, he wouldn't dream of talking to me like this,
Yeah.
or even dream of trying to do this. And so Michael was like, you were just a dumb civilian, and somehow you got wrapped up with her.
Because she doesn't give a shit. She's literally
Trying to
dating
hurt-
dudes to try to hurt Michael.
Yeah,
Like ruining her self-image just to fuck with Michael.
yeah. Like, this guy was probably just thinking like, oh, your brother's filthy rich and has senators at his parties. Like, I guess we could ask him for money. I mean, if you say so. And she was probably like, you know, fucked up
On
and was like,
drugs and shit.
yeah, she was like, yeah, like, he's got a lot of money and he loves family. So
Yeah.
he'll totally give his sister some money. And so, like, I was like, that's so sick. Let's try that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say so. So, yeah, Michael just kind of lets him go because this guy is just a dumb boy.
Yeah, don't get mixed in with the Corleone unless you're serious about doing shady business.
Yeah. But, okay, never mind. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know there was is it a plot twist? I don't even know if you really.
Yeah.
It is a plot twist.
So it doesn't.
That changes everything.
Yeah.
He's been betrayed by his wife. His father was never betrayed by his wife.
No, you don't even think like that's insane.
Mama would never ever do anything to hurt the Don.
No.
You know, so now there is that, you know. Vito never got put in that kind of situation. He had a ride or die.
Yep. Pure
Michael-
Sicilian, baby.
Michael, this is his second wife that he
Yeah.
just married because he was like, I just need
a son.
a son. And he was like, I guess I'll marry this first grade teacher.
Yeah.
She
She's nice enough. I liked her in the beginning.
She took me back after being gone for years. Like, all right, she's ride or die. No, she's not Sicilian. She doesn't
Yeah.
even get it.
Nope.
She pretty much admits it. She was like, this Sicilian thing. It's like, this Sicilian thing. Like, what the fuck did you think all these parties were?
Yeah.
Like, where do you think all the money's coming from? It's family value.
How do you think I'm protected doing illegal shit when people want to kill me?
Yeah.
My family.
Yeah. Like, it's not a Sicilian thing. It's our life.
Yep.
It's our livelihood. It's how we're going to secure generational wealth. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you really didn't understand what you were getting into? He tells her in the first movie. Like, he tells her about what Vito does. Like, he tells her a story of, like, my father made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yep.
And you think, oh, that's like, oh, no. He tells her, like, yeah, he, like, put a gun in his mouth.
Yeah.
And said he was going to, he said.
Luca Brazzi held a gun to his head, and my father assured him that either his brains or his signature would be on the contract.
Yeah, so right there, she should have known, okay, I can do this, or I'm calling the police and I'm getting the hell out of here.
She stuck around.
She stuck around, but she was weak. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
We needed Apollonia to be back.
Yeah.
Would have changed everything.
Heartbreaking.
These women just
but yeah.
These women just direct Michael's life.
It's just so, I think it's kind of the genius of what you mentioned earlier, in that, you know, this whole movie, for the most part, the wife's just kind of been in the background. So while all this like business / assassination attempts are going on, yeah, I totally forgot about her.
Yep.
Totally forgot about her. So when
probably on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, that had to have been done on purpose, because when the scene happens, when Michael realizes that he is not going to prison for perjury, and she's kind of starting this fight of, hey, we're leaving right now and I'm taking the kids.
Yep.
Like, okay, I guess we got to throw in that the wife's a little unhappy with how things are right now. And that's just what I thought it was going to be. I thought Michael was going to calm her down. You know, it'd probably be like a little bit of a fight, but, you know, they also had a miscarriage, so they need to address that. But I thought they were going to be good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Bomb dropped.
Like, I was kind of checked out of the scene because you're so focused on everything else. I was kind of thinking like, oh, this is like a nice little break. I can kind of slow down my thought process here.
Yeah.
And then she drops the bomb of like, Michael, you're so blind. It wasn't a miscarriage. It was an abortion.
What?
And I just like sat up. I was like, whoa.
Dude, wild. And Michael's eyes, bro.
On top of the fact, yeah, the makeup here, like, there's just no color in his skin, this whole scene.
It wasn't a miscarriage. It was an abortion. I wouldn't bring another one of your sons into this world.
Dude, did the eye twitch,
Oh,
bro.
It was an abortion, Michael.
Just rubbing it in his face.
A son, and I had it killed because this must all end.
Even going to the pack saying, I had it killed
because I knew it was a boy.
And I couldn't have another Michael Corleone running around. Your son's already following in your footsteps. But these eyes.
Yeah.
I knew it then.
Like I said, dude, I feel like that had to have been part of the audition process. Just, all right, you're the head of a major crime family and your wife just aborted your heir. Go. And Al Pacino just, and they're like, hold it. Okay. More angry. Hold it. Yeah. Okay, Al, you got it. Yeah, also, fuck her. I mean, obviously, just baby killer, wrong.
Yep.
That's, I mean, wrong for just her reasons alone. Just like, yeah, I knew it was a boy, so I killed him. Like, no, you have the baby and then, I don't know, figure something else out.
Flee.
Yeah.
Flee with the baby.
Flee the country. What did she think was going to happen? She thought she was going to stop Italian crime.
At least stop her involvement in it, I guess.
She was like, I didn't have your son because I wanted to put an end to all this. Shut up.
Yeah, this one family.
You thought this is like, he'll go start another family.
I have a first son.
Yeah, like it's already been done. I mean, like it's frowned upon. Sure. Divorces they're definitely not liked or respected. But yeah, I'll go have another son. Like, you're not stopping this.
Yeah.
Like, I got countries that are trying to run on my dime. You know, like I got a lot of things in motion here. And while it's really like it's very messed up what you did, you're not changing anything.
Yep.
If anything, I mean, things are just worse now.
Yep.
Congrats. Now I'm going to kill my brother.
But in defense of Kay in this scene, not really about the abortion part, but when Michael does talk to her and she's like telling him she's leaving before she drops the abortion bomb, he's pulling every tool he has for manipulation against her. Like he first is stern with her, then he gets angry at her, and then he tries to manipulate her by saying like, I know you're just sad, but trust me, it's going to be okay. You know, you're going to get over it. We're going to be fine. He just like goes through all the different phases of like trying to manipulate her from like all different angles to see if he can get her to stay. Like it's not about he really wants her to stay. He just is using all these tools just to try to make her, because he doesn't feel anything, I don't think, at this point. Like he's already kind of gone. His soul is leaving his body. There's not much. He really doesn't love her anymore. Doesn't really care about her that much. He kind of just cares about the whole family situation and the kids.
Part of me thinks that, yes, because he's just realizing that he's been betrayed by his brother. He's lost his sister. He doesn't really have anybody to go to. And he's becoming very paranoid, which would make sense given his position. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely the turning point of his whole character. Like, the idea of family is aborted.
Yep. That's why it's so good, because at the end of the first movie, somebody else shuts Kay out of his life, or shuts Kay out of the office. Remember at the very end of the first movie, whenever she sees him get his hand kissed at the Godfather when he just lied to her, and then somebody else, one of the mafia dudes shuts her out. So it's like, okay, she gets shut out of the business life. But whenever Kay comes home to say goodbye to her kids, the last time that we see that happen, and Michael comes home and she's standing at the doorway, Michael personally shuts her out of his life. Like, you are no longer involved here. Michael has control of the family now. He has his kids.
Yeah.
And then just shoves her out of the life personally.
I'll be damned, though. He still doesn't get that divorce. Can't afford it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. First off, financially, I doubt Michael believes in prenups.
Yeah.
I got a strong feeling about that.
No doubt there's no prenup.
Second off, it just makes, if the head of a family is going through a divorce, especially in this time, it's just bad. You know, if the head of the family can't even be the head of his real family, I think all the other people in the mafia like just see that as weakness.
Yeah.
Like a major weakness.
Yeah. Like, that's really what the whole movie's about. It's just his family is falling apart. Kind of because of him. He's doing all the things and he's causing all the things to happen, in a sense. Fredo obviously doesn't. He just feels betrayed because of Michael being the Godfather and all that kind of stuff, getting skipped over in the line. But just, he loses Kay. He loses his son. He loses his brother. His father's dead at this point. His brother's dead at this point. He has to kill more deep ties to his father, like all the relationships, because they're starting to scheme behind his back. So he's just, his whole empire is crumbling. Even Sonny at one point, when he's talking outside of the prison with Frank, he's like, they say something about the Corleone empire. He's like, I used to be an empire.
The Corleone family was like the Roman Empire? It was once.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
Talking about the Roman Empire.
Tom Hagen's no longer he sort of is his right-hand man in the movie, but he's not that role. Tom Hagen kind of, I think, feels a little bit wronged by him being pushed out a little bit.
Again, Tom Hagen being the best character in the movie. He's the only one that stays reasonable throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
He, even at the very end, he's like, hey, Michael, what the hell? Why are you being a dick?
Why do you hurt me, Michael? I've always been loyal to you. What is this?
Michael's he's just saying, you can go to Vegas with your wife, your kids, your mistress. Tom's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I thought we were boys.
Yeah. I literally haven't done anything wrong. I turned that down.
I think an hour ago in the movie, you said I was your real brother.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, why are you going after me? I turned that down. I should have not done that because you are losing it.
Yeah, that just shows you Michael's mental space where he's at right now. It's just so corrupt. Everybody's against him.
Because in that scene, there was no reason at all for Michael to just start throwing shots at Tom.
Yeah.
And Tom, being the reasonable guy, he's like, hey, why? Usually everything you do, I understand what kind of motive, but there's literally no reason for you to be mean to me right now.
And Michael has really no retort. He doesn't say anything back. He's like, fine, let's get to business.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Chicken Alfredo pasta. Love how much more involved he was in this movie.
Yeah.
Fredo. Sorry for those that don't understand
Italian.
Italian
language.
humor. Yeah. Fredo, what a character, man. I loved his character.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean,
hate that motherfucker.
Well, right, but like I love how much I hate him.
Okay.
Like he just keeps fucking up. And when you think he can't fuck up anymore, by God, he does it.
There's a cool scene.
And you just feel bad because like he just knows that he keeps messing up. And so I think part of his character is like, well, I mean, I'm already like, can't get any worse than what I've done.
Yeah,
So,
he feels
like-
so wrong that it kind of everything he does in his head, he can probably justify. It's like, well, I've been fucked over this many ways.
Right. Well, I mean, he does. He's like, you're sending me to go run casinos in Vegas. Sorry, Fredo.
Yeah.
That sounds awful. He's like, you're sending me to like go pick up people. I'm like, Fredo, dude. Like, I'm giving you jobs that I know you can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
Gives him he runs a prostitution house, like a brothel, basically.
Like, Fredo, deep down, I think we both know you like that. Like, that's not a bad
I'm not
gig.
stupid, Mike.
Yeah. There's some kind of saying for like any man that has to claim that he's smart is not.
Yep.
You know, and that's Fredo just totally embodied. He's like, why do people think I'm dumb? I'm smart.
Yeah.
And Michael's just staring at him. He's like, dude, I gave you everything you needed. Like, if anything, nobody got off easier than you. Like, you didn't have to deal with all this political BS.
Yeah, Fredo, you cannot handle this, brother. Trust me, the shit I'm going through, you have no chance.
Yeah, you're over here ordering daiquiris when I'm telling you I'm about to be assassinated. And I'm drinking club sodas.
Yeah, fucking banana daiquiris.
Yeah.
Fucking girly drink. He's not even drinking a whiskey or some wine.
Yeah.
Maybe be Italian for once.
And just the way he does it is so stupid. He's like, how do I tell the waiter I want a banana daiquiri? He's like, you fucking tell him you want a banana daiquiri.
Yeah.
Like, the guy speaks English. And then he still tries. He's like, uno banana daiquiri.
Yeah.
And it's like, God almighty. Like,
Dumbass.
thank God you were not in any of the meetings.
Seriously.
The family would have gotten shut down immediately.
I mean,
But-
imagine if Fredo became the Don instead of Michael. Those 5 families would have fucking took him out in a second. Because Michael's had the foresight to plan and prevent his assassination. Fredo would have been, you want to make money? Let's go. And then, yeah, sure, take me in this small room where there's only 3 people.
Fredo would have just been hammered the whole time.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's somewhat of a reflection of Sonny, because Sonny was just arrogant. But Sonny was also hammered a lot. Fredo was just scared, but I don't know. He's an interesting character in that aspect. Like, he's terrified all the time.
Yeah.
And yet he still feels like he deserves more. It's like, Fredo, like, at least Sonny believed he could do it. You just want to believe that you can do it, but you know you can't do this.
You want the title, not the work.
Right. Like, you want the power and the respect. And honestly, you are getting way more than you deserve, but you're getting it simply because you're my brother.
Yes.
And so I love it. It's like, and it just shows, like, every move he made was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, when he finally tries to do something smart, it's dumb. And
Yeah.
it hurts the family.
Because
Even when he didn't have the power, even when he wasn't the head of the family, when all he had to do was just take control of strip clubs and prostitution rings, he still fucked it up.
Yep. Because when he's explaining himself to Michael of why he did it, he's like, I was going to get something for me. They said there's a big business deal for the family would help out, and if I help them, I would get money and it'd be fine. I didn't know it was a hit, Mike. He's like, you believe that?
Yeah.
You really believe that?
You believe that story? You believe that?
As soon as he said it, I feel like Fredo's character just kind of like, I mean, I fucking shouldn't have. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when you put it that way.
He's almost he had to have known deep down. There's no way that would have not been the case. So like he's just playing dumb for the sake of being ignorant. Like he's being ignorant for the sake of being ignorant to try to avoid responsibility for his actions here.
Well, I think there's kind of that sense of entitlement of, well, I've made it this far and I've done some pretty stupid things. I've talked to people in really stupid ways, but I haven't died yet. So I guess I might still be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I guess in my reality, I'm invincible. Like, nobody can kill me for some reason.
And he's trying to take power for himself. So he's like, this is what Michael does. So
Yeah.
I should do the same things. I'm also a Corleone and I'm also in the crime family. So I should be doing my own business dealings.
Yeah. It honestly, it reminds me of The Sopranos. It reminds me of AJ. And AJ is like always trying to act like he's the heir
Yeah.
of Tony Soprano
Yeah.
and that he's going to be the tough guy boss one day. He's even like telling his friends like, yeah, like someday that'll be me, you know.
Yeah.
But AJ knows deep down he cannot do that. And so does Tony. Tony's like, you're a good kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good thing.
Yes.
You know, and he like his way of trying to make it is by taking a knife to Uncle Junior's retirement home. Spoilers, I guess. But again, yeah, so like Fredo reminds me, I feel like they might have based a little bit of AJ's character off of Fredo, just trying to be somebody he's not,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And so it's a good character to have.
There's cool foreshadowing in the movie whenever Michael's sitting with Frank and he's telling him that he thinks that Hyman Roth is the one that tried to kill him. And he says something about, I'll find out somehow who the traitor is. That's how I'm going to find out who the traitor is in my family.
Then I'll be able to find out who the traitor in my family was.
And then it cuts to the next scene of Fredo in his bed, and he gets on the phone with Hyman Roth's boy, Uncle June. He gets on the phone with Uncle June. Hilarious that we...
Was I supposed to know that? Because you said it during the movie. You were like, that's well, you said Uncle Junior, but what's his character's name in this movie?
Where are you, Uncle June?
He's right there.
Where?
He's Johnny.
Johnny, yeah, his name's Johnny.
Okay.
Where's that on here? Oh, okay.
He's right
shit.
there.
Oh, he looks so different. Can't even recognize him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, because they mentioned in the movie that Hyman Roth has Italian speaker, like some guy
it's Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny's
That's
his
Johnny.
guy.
Yeah.
So they tell you that, and then
But
you
did
hear
you
Johnny's voice on the phone.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't have known that because you only really hear Johnny talk briefly.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be real. There's so many characters in this movie. How am I supposed to just remember the voice of?
I just recognize it because I just know his voice.
Right.
You know,
Right.
from The Sopranos, obviously.
Yeah.
It's so funny though because I've seen The Sopranos first, and then I watched The Godfather. I didn't ever pick up that was Uncle Junior, the same actor.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even think it looked like him when I was watching it. He looks so different than he does in The Sopranos because he's so much older. But I recognize him by the way he was talking and acting. I was like, oh my God, is that Uncle Junior?
Yeah.
The way, like, the way he would smile, the way he would say things. I'm like, holy shit. That's how I connected it, just by the way he was acting, not by how he looked. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. I wonder if you hadn't said anything, if I ever would have picked up on that.
I don't think so. He looks so different than what he looks like in The
He
Sopranos.
does, but until you said it, and I was like, oh my God, that's Uncle June.
Yeah. Like this, I hate how it does that. This guy, I guess there's obviously a similarity. That's the same person, but there's some similarities. But yeah, so different. I think it's like glasses too. I think really throw it off. Those big old glasses.
You say it was the way he was acting in this movie. I disagree because Uncle Junior is just so. I mean, just his character is just so jealous and so mad. You know, it took him like 70 years to finally get power, and he really doesn't even get it, and so he's just kind of mad about that.
Yeah.
So he's very insecure in The Sopranos, but in this movie, he's confident, I guess.
It wasn't like the way he was acting or saying things. It was just his mannerisms.
Maybe, yeah.
Just I don't know. I'll throw it on as we're talking about it, but just like those little things is what made me realize that was Uncle Junior.
Yeah. What else you got in those notes, man?
Well, I want to get to
because how many times have you seen this movie?
Second time.
Okay.
Second time.
Okay. What were you maybe looking for going into this movie that maybe you saw, or were you just like, okay, I'm gonna just rewatch it, or were there things that you kind of wanted to, like maybe there's a certain scene where you're like, I feel like that's more important.
Yeah,
than what I probably gave it credit for the first time.
The main thing I was looking for was like the similarities between the first one, because I didn't really catch how they were similar, the way they kind of structured it, and the things they can contrast it. I didn't notice that on the first watch, but this time I noticed that one.
Okay.
But what was really cool from the second watch is just really understanding Vito's backstory of him coming to power, because him being Vito Andolini, that's what he was born as in Italy. But when he migrates to the United States, they just mistake where he's from as his last name. So they call him Vito Corleone.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting because now for the rest of Vito's life, he's Corleone, where his entire family got killed. That trauma, all that revenge he wants to take on Don Ciccio, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
That stuck with him for the rest of his life now. Like he's always going to be remembered as Vito Corleone. So Corleone is where his trauma was from. So like that fires him up and fuels him to do that.
Yeah.
And then it also makes sense that he's always caring for his children. Like he cares so much about his children because his family, if you think about it, sacrificed everything for him.
Yeah.
His mother sacrificed herself so that he could run away and be safe.
Yeah.
Like she went there to get the boss knife to the neck and say, run, Vito, run, go.
Yeah.
And then he gets away safe. So like he understands that no matter what you do, you have to always protect your family because my family did that.
Yeah.
And so, he has a nice job where he's getting paid a nice salary, but then, Finucci comes in and makes his nephew take the job of Vito.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Vito has to just do small crimes to take care of his family, that's a small sacrifice he has to make. He's just doing small crimes. He's willing to do it. So that's it makes sense why he transformed into the Don, because he's willing to do dirty deeds and sacrifice for his family because that's all he knows. His entire origin story was his family sacrificing everything for him.
I think what you just told me confirms my idea that Vito would have let Fredo live.
Yep. Yeah.
I think he would have found it in him like, nope, like he messed up bad, but he is still my brother. And like, I don't think Fredo actually was trying to get Michael killed.
No,
I don't think there was any ill will.
It could have happened, but he kind of just like neglected that possibility out of his mind.
Yeah.
He might have known that a little bit, but his intention was not, I hope Michael gets killed.
Yeah. I think Vito would have even shown, like, not just not kill him. I think he would have been like, hey, like, here's how it's going to work. All right, you messed up big time, but I'm still going to let you go run a whorehouse or a casino or whatever in Vegas. But the only people you talk to are people that I allow you to talk to. That's it. That's your life.
Yeah.
Not so bad. Boo-hoo. You get to live in beautiful Vegas and you're at the top of it. Like,
Yeah.
I think there would have been that level of mercy. And I think it just kind of goes to show, like, Michael, just all these characters, all the offspring of Vito Corleone. Oh my God. Corleone. Wow. That's embarrassing. They don't understand. They can't understand. They were raised in wealth.
Right.
They take things for granted even if they don't really want to.
Their dad was the most powerful man with all the people they knew. Everybody turned to their dad.
Yeah. But Vito, like, there was just no way for him to ever get too greedy and like compromise the integrity of his family because like his whole life was exactly what you just said. Like all he understands is that sacrifice because he actually understands it. He was born into that pain. Like he had to live through that and make something of himself.
Yeah, Vito definitely would not have killed Fredo because think about just going to the first movie whenever he's sitting down with the 5 families and he says, I want peace. I know I lost a son, but I'm willing to let it go for peace. So you're right. He would have probably let Fredo live because even after another family killed one of his sons, his firstborn son, he was still willing to look past it just for peace to let everybody be prosperous. Yeah. So yeah, you're totally right. He definitely would not have killed Fredo.
Yeah. And it's just, that's just something that cannot be taught, because at the end of it all, Vito had to work for his power. Michael was just given it.
He earned it in a sense.
He earned it, but he was given it.
Yeah.
He
didn't earn it like Vito did. Vito built it.
Right.
Vito built it. Michael earned it.
Yeah.
But still didn't build it.
Yeah. You say earn it. I mean, I don't know. Like part of me thinks that like Tom probably earned it more in a sense.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that Michael is his son. And so like that was it. All he had to do was be born and learn a few things and get rough and okay, here's a lot of money and power.
And also you might think maybe Michael was never really involved in the family. And so he's almost doing what he thinks his dad might have done. Like what he thinks it is to be strong, what he thinks it would be, what Vito would do in these situations. So like,
well, Michael tried to choose his own path in a sense. So I mean, I guess there is that.
So he never saw his dad in action with all these like really high level meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe he was just kind of like, I think is what I should do. Cause he even turns to his mom at one point and he's like, what did my dad believe in his heart? Like, do you lose, when you're too strong, do you lose family? She's like, you never lose family. He's like, well, times are changing.
Yeah.
Your son's getting killed.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I love the ending of it because after Fredo dies,
Uh-huh.
and then he sits in his chair, and you can just tell he's just going through it. Like he's like, what is my life become? Because then he thinks back to even before the first movie.
That dinner scene is one of the most perfect endings to a movie I've ever seen.
He's talking to his brothers about, I actually enlisted in the Marines. They're like, what?
Yeah.
You fucking stupid? We have plans for you.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. I'm going to do my own path. And he's thinking about himself, what he could have been.
Yeah.
When he was anti this. Like, he was so against this, and his plan in life was never to do this. And now he's done it and became a monster through it. Killing his family, killing his own blood for this mafia crime industry. And before this, he was just going to go serve his country and stand apart from his family. He didn't even get up to go surprise his father.
Yeah.
He was so much of an outsider, didn't want to be involved in the family at all. Yet now look at him, the leader of the family, destroying his family. Just a beautiful way to wrap that destruction arc.
I gotta say, yes, like everything you just said. Like whenever that was the final scene, I was like, whoa, bravo. Like what a great way to wrap that up. But I gotta say, in the first movie, I really didn't care much for Sonny. But then when they showed him in that final scene, I was like, damn, I kind of missed him.
Right.
Like just kind of that explosiveness.
Yep.
Just he's a true big brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he does care about everybody, and he wants everybody to be happy, and he wants everybody to just have a good time.
Yep.
Kind of has Vito's sense in that. He's like,
He's doing favors for Carlo. He's like, hey, let me introduce you to my sister. You're a good enough guy. You're working for me, probably. He's like,
yeah,
me and my sister. And he's, doing the favors, setting everybody up. He's fucking with Fredo, being his buddy.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, part of me, like when Michael says, I'm going to be a Marine, Tom, his initial reaction is, but we have these plans. Like me and your dad, we've talked about it. Sonny's just like, no, like a Marine? This is World War II. People are everybody's dying that's going. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to lose my brother. Like, it's like true brotherly love. He's about to beat the shit out of him because like, he's just, I don't want my little brother to die.
And Sonny's philosophy is you only do things for your family.
Yeah.
You only sacrifice for your family. Don't sacrifice for strangers.
They're saps because they risk their lives for strangers.
Yeah. And so, but I love that. Like it really, it showed Sonny in a good light, like at the very end of part 2. Because part 1, he's just a hothead idiot. And, you're just like, God, shut up. Like, no, obviously you don't do that. You don't make that move. But yeah, just that little ending scene just showed that Sonny, at the end of it all, like he really did care about his family.
They even had like a little dark twist to his demise because he introduced Carlo to Connie, and Carlo was the one that got him killed.
That was smart, right?
So yeah, they just drive that knife into it. Yeah, of that story. It's like, damn, Sonny.
Yeah,
damn, Sonny boy.
Yeah, no, this is. I totally understand why people would say this is the greatest movie of all time. I get it. I need to watch it a second time,
third time, fourth time.
Yeah, but I'm talking like I need to watch it a second time here. Like. I need to watch it a fresh second time.
Yeah.
Like I just saw the first one. I need to watch this second one, or I need to watch it for the second time in like the next month. Like just kind of have everything still with me.
Yeah.
Cause I feel bad. I know that we're probably missing out on a lot.
100%. It's a 3-hour, 20-minute movie.
Yeah. And again, cannot emphasize this enough. We just watch the movie and then we just come in here and click the button.
The tricky part with this movie is that the dialogue to the music volume level was so drastically different.
Yeah.
It was on Tenet level where we're like, what are they saying?
I know. And God, with a movie like this, you don't want to put on the subtitles because you don't want to miss anything that's happening on the screen.
Yeah. It's not in Korean, so we can actually watch it and listen.
Yeah. This isn't Parasite. So we'll probably do an updated version of The Godfathers in later episodes.
They return.
So we can do it the justice it deserves.
We'll do it 20 years later for a money grab.
Yeah. Yeah, when we're like over 10 million subscribers.
Yeah.
We'll get it right then.
Once we got that diamond play button.
Yeah.
All right, what do you rate it?
Oh man.
Going 10 out of 10 and 5-star rating. Somebody was shitting on your 0.5 star rating too, by the way, in a comment. Like enough
Sorry,
of that. None of that 5 point star bullshit.
That's how Letterboxd works.
That's what I said. It's like we're following the Letterboxd rating system.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, what did I give The Godfather Part 1? 9.5?
9 and a 5, I'm sure. 9 point. You gave it a 9 something, and then you also gave it.
I'm giving The Godfather 2. I'm giving it a 9.7.
Okay.
And I'm giving it a 5 as far as enjoyment.
Nice.
Like although I was confused, I was still having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, that beginning, I was like, wow, I'm so lost and I am fine with that.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that they pretty much went in a completely different direction than the first one, with just the parallel stories. I like that as much as I don't like it, I love that Michael ended up being a huge disappointment.
Yeah, just a monster.
Yeah, I was like, man.
Becoming the worst version of himself, basically.
Yeah, because you can't actually make him a hero. He's not.
He's lost. I mean, yeah.
No matter how much you like The Godfather, like they're doing bad stuff.
Michael's not a good man.
Yeah, so you can't actually have him getting everything he wants.
Yeah,
he has to lose it.
He has to be told his wife had an abortion.
Yeah, brutal. So yeah, 9.7 and a 5.
I'm gonna go. I like the first one better. I think the slow burness. I like the first one better. There's a little bit more action throughout it.
Okay.
I do feel
I can
like
respect it.
I do feel like it's a little hard to follow some of the details without, being really fully into the story. Fully in the story, as in like all the backstory and you like are very familiar with all the stuff they're talking about. So that's a little bit. I wish it was a little bit clearer to understand, but I'm gonna go still 9 out of 10, and then I'm gonna go. I gave Godfather 1 5 stars. So I give this one 4 stars.
Okay.
On enjoyability.
Okay, you're wrong, and you deserve to be put to the blade.
Look at this reverse roles.
But it's your God-given right. It's what the Don would want.
Yep.
Freedom of American choices.
All right. Final thought.
I'm so sorry, Vito. This is not what you wanted, but it's what you got. And I guess it's what you deserved.
Yeah, I mean, Vito did some bad things in his lifetime, for sure.
He can't just be out here committing murder. You can justify it all you want, but, it's still not the right thing to do.
Because, I mean, Vito didn't really have to kill Fanucci. Fanucci never really threatened him once. He just asked for him for money.
Vito could have just went and got an honest job.
Yep.
And then none of this happens.
Fucking Clemenza having him steal a rug changed his life.
Yeah. He was like, whoa.
Really, butterfly effect, that snowballed out of control.
Yep. Vito could have just thrown the guns back to his neighbor.
Yeah.
Said, get this shit out of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this all makes sense. But yeah, we still have part 3. So very curious to see just what that is.
Oh yeah. I've never seen it. Haven't seen clips from it. I think that's where the Soprano line where it's like, I'm trying to get out, but they bring me right back in.
Yeah.
I think that's from the third one.
It has to be because trust me, I would have heard that. I would have Leonardo DiCaprio once upon a time in Hollywood. I would have, hey.
We hit that at least 3 times a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially whenever we hear Vito for the first time say, I'll give an offer we can't refuse.
Yeah. We just. Yeah. Great movie.
My final thought is, we didn't even talk about it, but not much to really talk about, but De Niro's performance as Vito, copying Marlon Brando's, the way he acted, like literally, you can't even tell it's 2 different actors really. Like you obviously know it's De Niro, but like you totally believe him as Vito. Like that's the same exact character, just a different actor.
No, Robert De Niro is not one of the greats on accident.
Nope.
It's because that guy lights up a screen.
Yep. The way he like uses his hands and like,
yeah,
the way he talks.
He even had the voice.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So yeah,
shout out De Niro on this one. Yeah. Other final thought. Nothing. I like how it's cool how they brought Clemenza and Tessio into the origin story, seeing how they all were the founding people to do this. So it's just cool seeing the whole backstory to tie in together. It's not like a different people that helped him. It's like it's Clemenza, Tessio, all the guys that seen for the first one watching their origin story too.
Yeah.
So it's just cool seeing that. But all right, guys, thank you guys for listening. Catch us next week on the Crown Cinema Podcast where we will watch another movie. Comment below your thoughts on The Godfather Part 2. Let us know if you think the first one's better or if you think the second one's better. Let us know any things we missed. I'm sure we missed a lot because it is a 3-hour, 20-minute masterpiece and there's only so much we notice. So let us know. Give us insights. Help, please.
Yeah. You can complain all you want that you want us to be more official and have our shit together. But you know what? That would take away the authenticity of two guys just watching a movie and talking about it right after. I'm just kidding. We will get better eventually.
Get better every day.
We get better every episode. You know what? When this podcast is my full-time job, trust me, I'll get everything right. I'll provide way more insight, but
hey, hit that like and subscribe button and these episodes will get a hell of a lot better.
Swear to God.
All right, see y'all next week. We're out.
Trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time. And I've been cussing like a sailor since I ran out of weed. My tank is running dry. So I'll head on down to the railroad track and tell that man I need a ride. He says you're just in luck 'cause there's one more seat. There's just one more thing before you proceed. Just throw me a 5 and we'll call it a deal.